Hello everyone, this is Dalster and welcome to another episode review of Dark Side of the Ring, and in this episode it talks about the life of Harley Race. I don't know much about Harley Race other than him being in the WWE Hall of Fame and his big blonde curly hair, but that's pretty much it. In this episode I'll learn who he was and what happened to him. Harley's real name was Harley Leland Race, and he was born on April 11, 1943. He lived in Quitman, Missouri at first and had a violent life, which you'll find out why in this episode. As a kid, he worked in the labor field since his family was poor and did not last long in school. An old childhood friend named Danny Keever said in this episode that Harley would let people hit him in the stomach. They've been friends since they were in the 3rd grade, and in one situation they decided to do hooky, meaning that they skipped school one day and they got caught for it. In the principal's office, the principal slapped Harley, but Harley slapped the principal back and got himself expelled. One of his ex-wives named Ivana said that Harley left home when he was 14 because his parents couldn't take care of him anymore. Harley found work at a farm owned by the Zabisco brothers, who were wrestlers. He got trained by the brothers Stanislaus and Willadick, and they didn't hold back as they stretched and beat up Harley. They even put Harley through holes and taught him how to do hand-to-hand combat. Eventually, Harley went to work at a carnival and managed to start wrestling in matches. Along the way, he met Eddie Sharkey. While he wrestled at the carnival, Harley made $3 to $4 a match in the 1950s. The audience could challenge the carnival champion as well, not just the wrestlers. At 16, Harley wrestled against the carnival champion by using headbutts. His time there was not easy as Harley fought against many hard, difficult men. Harley became a valet and caregiver for a 700-pound man named Happy Humphrey. Harley had to help Happy Humphrey by dressing him, driving him to places, and bathing him. In 1960, at the age of 17, Harley married a woman named Vivian Jones, whom he met in over a month. She then got pregnant with Harley's first child. On Christmas Eve at 3 a.m., Harley and Vivian were driving in a snowy storm until a tractor drove up and hit Harley's car. Once paramedics arrive at the scene, Vivian dies of a serious head injury, as well as the unborn baby. Paramedics thought that Harley was also dead, but he made it out alive and was seriously injured. Doctors were going to amputate his leg as it was in horrible condition, which could have led him to never walk again. He wasn't even 20 yet, but he managed to get surgery for his leg then walked. Since that day, he hated Christmas because of the loss of his first wife and unborn child. When he met his next wife, Ivana, he called her a couple of times. Her parents did not approve of Harley, but she did sneak her way into seeing him, and he eventually proposed to her. Ivana didn't like seeing people boo at Harley since he was a big heel at the time, but was very nice to her from the beginning of their marriage. They had a son named Justin, but their marriage lasted for 24 years as Harley got violent towards Ivana. Ivana said that Harley would buy her things, but she only wanted love from him. Before he got into a boat accident, which I'll mention in a bit, he called her names. The aftermath of the boat accident caused Ivana to finally divorce Harley and file a restraining order against him after years of being with him due to Harley threatening her to stay with him. Ivana mentions in this episode that during Christmas time, she got a call from a woman that Harley had knocked her up. She tried to leave Harley, but she allegedly said that he would kill her if she did. She would take their son Justin outside with a red wagon whenever Ivana and Harley would fight. Towards the end of the interview, Ivana said that Harley was a great wrestler but was not meant to be a husband. In his wrestling life, Harley was known for his diving headbutt, which he barely touches his opponents when he performs this move. Jim Cornette calls Harley unstoppable. Mick Foley said that he was inspired by Harley Race. Trevor Murdoch, who was in the WWE before, was trained by Harley and told him many stories of his past. In one of those stories, Harley confronted a man for being aggressive towards a woman in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Harley said to Trevor that he knocked the guy unconscious, but was stabbed by the guy's friend 3 times in the back. Days later, some people said that Harley found the guy who stabbed him and drove to the guy's house with a pistol. Trevor said that Harley told him that it was not a pistol that he carried. It was a machine gun. Harley was a fast driver and visited his family 3 times a month while he was on the road. Maybe that's why Ivana said that Harley was not a good husband. Trevor said that Harley was his character who was considered the man in and out of the ring. He teamed up with Larry Hennig, who was the father of Kurt Hennig. Mr. Perfect, and dyed his hair in order to fit their tag team gimmick. Harley's first title win was the NWA World title, and his matches would last an hour, night after night. Harley lost the title to Ric Flair in Starrcade 1983. In the 1980s, Vince McMahon tried to get Harley to join the WWF, but Harley refused. It was said that Vince attacked Harley, but Harley was able to get Vince into a chokehold. The reason why Vince wanted to get Harley in the WWF was because Vince wanted to buy Harley's Kansas promotion. Trevor said that Harley bought a pistol and threatened Hulk Hogan. When Harley was unable to find Hulk one day, he lit the wrestling ring on fire. Harley was supposedly drunk and mad, as he wanted to protect his business from Vince. He eventually gave up and let Vince buy his promotion, as the WWF were expanding at the time. When Harley went to the WWF, he was the king of the ring, and some of the people who were interviewed for this episode said that Harley might not have liked it. As he was in WWF, the younger fans did not know who Harley was. The only reason why Harley went to the WWF was to financially support his family. His time was cut short in the WWF as Harley got injured from a match with Hulk Hogan. What had happened was that Harley got hit in the abdomen by the metal bar of the table and blew out his intestines. When his son Justin came home in his own apartment, he saw his dad Harley passed out. The recovery process was going to require multiple surgeries, as Harley had 200 to 300 stitches after his injury with Hulk. Months later, after he started wrestling again, tragedy struck once more. Harley had drank scotch one night and decided to use a boat. He hit another boat that had no lights on. He pulled one of the victims to shore but got arrested for the accident. Justin said that his parents divorced because of wrestling. A woman from the boat accident got 2 broken legs and was still in a wheelchair days after the accident, so she sued Harley for $10 million but only got $250,000. All the money that he gave to the woman was all Harley had, as he was broke. Harley then went to WCW in order to financially support himself again, and coaches Vader. Vader was a football player, so having Harley coach him was helping Vader in some way. He had to take bumps while Vader was in a match with Mick Foley one time. Harley was then released and went on a show called Exposed, Pro Wrestling's Greatest Secrets. The show had wrestlers in disguise, however, you could tell that one of them was Harley because his voice was noticeable. After retiring, Harley started a training school, and in 2004 he was inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. Throughout his wrestling career, Harley was considered a tough guy and a great heel. He had been shot and stabbed, but had gotten rods, screws, and pins in order to keep his body functioning and going. Harley also has an artificial hip after putting his body through so much wrestling. When his other wife, Beverly, died, one of the people in this episode was told that Harley had trouble crying when she died. In 2019, Harley died from lung cancer. He was 76 years old. Interviewers for this episode are Mick Foley, Jim Cornette, Danny Keever, childhood friend of Harley, Trevor Murdoch, Ivana Hetbavini Race, ex-wife of Harley, Eddie Sharkey, Justin Race, son of Harley, and Gerald Briscoe. I thought there wasn't enough information on Harley for this episode, so I decided to do some research on who Harley Race was. Harley had polio when he was young. At 18, he moved to Nashville and wrestled under the ring name Jack Long because he was in a tag team storyline with his storyline brother, John Long. He wrestled as Harley Race because his father told Harley to not work on someone else's name because they might get famous instead of him, so he chose his own name from then on. Harley was in the WWF from 1986 to 1989. He was managed by his longtime friend, Bobby the Brain Heenan. At one point, he was known as Handsome Harley Race after bleaching his hair. On an episode of Raw in 2004, Randy Orton confronted Race and spat at his face. He was a victim to Randy's legend killer persona. Race was born to sharecroppers. Harley's second marriage was to Sandra Jones, and they have a daughter named Candice Marie. He and his third wife, Ivana, divorced in the early 1990s after over 30 years of marriage. His fourth wife was a woman named Beverly BJ. She died of pneumonia. Harley had 5 grandchildren. He had neck, hip replacement, and knee replacement surgery. His vertebra in his back fused together after years of taking bumps. Harley was buried next to his parents and his brother at Quitman, Missouri. Harley died on August 1, 2019. He had 3 kids but might have more, since Ivana said in the episode that she got a call from a woman on Christmas saying that she got knocked up by Harley. His son, Leland Race, is currently wrestling. I give this episode a 7 out of 10, as it felt like it was a little rushed. I'm not going to lie, but I feel so bad for Harley because his parents abandoned him when he needed them. After everything, he was buried next to them, which I don't know if it was Harley's choice or someone else's. From the clips in this episode, he makes wrestling look easy and fun, but he was a really tough guy. I think had he been raised better, he might not have hit his wife and be so cruel. Of course, hitting your spouse or the people you love is wrong. And I'm saying this because nowadays it could be either gender. I think Harley never really had the love that he needed to treat his wives better. But I hope his wives are doing better. He seems like a tough man, but I think him not having the parental love that he deserved might have made him love wrestling more, as it was there for him. I see this with a lot of wrestlers. They wrestle because it's like an escape from reality, or it's something that has always been there and helped them psychologically. What do you guys think? Do you have any thoughts of Harley Race? Comment down below if you want to share. But I'll see you guys in the next video. Comment, like, subscribe if you'd like to, and until next time, take care of your mental health and everyone around you, and I'll do the same too. Bye guys.